The June ARRL VHF contest is this coming weekend. At the time of this video, I got about 4 days to get ready. It's usually the second weekend of June every year. There's 2 of them in the year, but I like the summer one the best. And this contest is one of the very few contests that really, really excites me. Why? For me, as I said in past videos, after 23 years in the hobby, I have settled into weak signal modes and Earth, moon bounce, and space communications. So check this out. This contest is right up my alley. Anything above 50 megahertz counts in this contest, and I'm going to be using some older gear, and I'm going to be doing this logging on World Radio League. But check it out. This, I encourage you immensely to get on this contest at least for a couple hours if you can't stick with it. It may be a lot slower than a contest you're used to, but you're going to find tons of people on 6 meters and 2 meters and 70 centimeters and 1.2 gigahertz that are not ever on the radio except for this contest. And that kind of sucks lately because contests, as I've said in past videos, field days and contests bring radio operators to their desk. I can promise you, you will see some form of FT8 on 2 meters and 440, a ton of 6 meters, and a lot of stuff. You know, if you have a 9700, which I'm dying to get, you have the radio to operate on this contest. If you have a 7300 or any radio that will do 6 meters, this will generate 6 meters. Hopefully, there's usually a band opening all day in the middle of June, but hopefully this is your chance and opportunity to get on 6 meters, 50 megahertz, the magic band. Videos are on my catalog on that. It's a wild band, man. 6 meters may open to Connecticut. By the time you make that contact, you got Australia coming in. And you can't finish Australia because Canada and Europe are pouring in. Then it all becomes stateside. And you're banging out states one at a time. That's why they call it the magic band. But for me, 2 meter single sideband, I actually use FT8 on 2 meter sideband. And I've been known to get about 10 or 12 contacts across Florida, up into Georgia, and maybe a couple other states that were on my old logbook that I don't even know how to access anymore. So what am I using for 6 meter or for the VHF June contest? My good old trusty Yaesu FT4, I almost said FT450, FT736. Now this radio will do, this is like a contester's dream for this contest. 6 meters, 2 meters, 70 centimeters, 23 centimeters, 1.2 gigahertz. And if I really get crafty enough, I might bust out the old Mamma Jamma. This is a Henry 6 meter amplifier. This will do 200 watts, I think, with about 25 watts of drive, which that radio will do. So I haven't ever used this, and if you want to buy it when I'm done, I'll take 125 bucks for it, because I bought it just on an impulse buy, but it's a Henry. Henry makes good amplifiers. So I might bust that out. And let me show you the antennas that I'm going to probably use for this. The 6 meter antenna is going to really be wild. If you've been watching for a long time, who remembers this? This was from VHFloops.com, I think. And this is my 6 meter CNC machined loop. And you know, trim up the capacitance discs here with the little nylon screws. Only takes like a half a turn. That's what I'm going to be using on 6 meters. I'm going to have it like this, you know, on the tower up top or on the carbon fiber mast. I'm not sure yet. But would you believe that that is the size of a basketball rim, and that thing is a monster on 6 meters. It just works so well. This is all you need. I mean, yeah, all you need. This is not something off the shelf. This is something that is manufactured, I don't even remember what it costs, but the size. If you're in an HOA, you can put this on a balcony. You can put this in your attic. I don't know how well it'll work in an attic. You could put this in your backyard. Forget the attic. Put a pole up outside, right behind your fence. Karen next door won't see it. Nobody will care. And just for the weekend, 6 meters. Make a small antenna like this. Okay, and I was just talking about this the other day too. An oldie but a goodie, the Cushcraft 13B2, 13 element boomer. Got some bent elements. Guys, this is, you remember the old house? This was on a push-up pole with a rotor. And man, I had that thing for years, steering it back and forth. It's been to my grandmother's house then. when I lived in the RV, then it's been here. So it sits in the antenna graveyard over there, but it still works. I used it last contest. I'm going to use it again. So I'll straighten the elements out. You don't need something like this for this contest. You can use, you know, a very small Yagi. You could use a VHF loop antenna. You could use a vertical and make contacts on simplex, on FM. Doesn't matter. I'm going for 2 meter single sideband with, you know, probably FT8 and some phone contacts. So that's what I'm going to use here. I'm going to put this. That one won't fit up on the tower right now. I don't have the rotor up there, so I'll put this one probably on a carbon fiber tripod mast, or the carbon fiber mast on the tripod. And I'll get that up about 30 feet with it tied down and everything. That'll be good enough. Put some guy rings. We'll see what happens. But that's what I'm using for VHF. Now, if I have enough time, I don't know if I have the will, but I have the way. I got the tools. I don't know if I have the talent. But here's the big one from the 22 element from Goran in Serbia that he used for Earth, Moon, Earth. And that thing is tuned spot on for the single sideband frequency on UHF. So if I get time and I get some people that I could work them on 6 meters, VHF and UHF. And if I really get into it, yeah, I'll take the 1.2 gigahertz antenna and put it on there as well. But that's what I'm looking for mainly, is the 2 meters and the 6 meters. Who remembers this? The Radio Waves Quasar. This is a cubical quad for 2 meters and 70 centimeters. I did have trouble with this antenna. That is why you never saw a video on it. There is some, I can't find a manual either, and I don't even think they make this anymore. But I got to get the correct dimensions. It's 3 elements on 2 meters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on UHF, and that will be cool. I can handle both UHF and VHF on this directional, but you got to make your own feed point. You can see years ago, I don't even remember what I did, but I 3D printed something here and like zip tied it on there, and it was working, but the spacing wasn't right, and it said in the manual, from what I remember, you know, you start here and then you go there, and then one of the wires broke, so I used some red wire there. I don't know if I'm going to get on that. But if I get that antenna working, I'll definitely make a video on this one. So the next video I want you to watch is going to come out right after this one, hopefully, because World Radio League is something I got to show you again. World Radio League is on here, and that's going to directly supplement my experience on June VHF contest weekend. I'm going to show you why. But if you don't understand it, you're like, oh, here we go, clickbait title, we're going to watch something for promotion. Nope. Just do this. Think of a new operator that just got licensed. Take QRZ.com and take WorldRadioLeague.com. And go ahead and show both of those to a newcomer. And I'll show you, I'll walk you through it. They're quickly going to see that QRZ.com is extremely out of date and old school. Leave that QRZ for those older people that like to sit on there and acknowledge simple things that say they're logged. And then check out World Radio League and watch how the world comes alive with amateur radio by using that software. Stay tuned, 7.3 KJ4YZI.